When you began, the World Bank economist ruffled a few feathers when he talked about the 48 billion that is needed in Africa, and about 17 billion of that goes mishandled. And so we begin by saying that the World Bank should start by listening. And maybe them and other development partners should be looking at the opportunity in Africa rather than the challenges in Africa.
The World Bank and the international community should give Africa much wider space so that the voices of Africa could be heard more. This is not only in programming, but also in their staffing, so that the programs and projects that are involved reflect the issues on the ground.
The strategy should come up with pro-poor policies. This is an acknowledgement that Africa poverty is quite endemic, and it's an issue that we need to deal with. So policies should, of necessity, focus on issues of water, sanitation, provision of electricity, food, as well as shelter.
Agriculture is key to the continent and also to this country, and in that regard it was suggested that agriculture needs to be looked at with regard to infrastructure as a key area where there's a regional policy already, if I remember what Stephen mentioned, and nutrition being a key for opportunities that lie ahead. Trade, market integration in the region, and rural finance, and keeping an eye on climate change were key areas that were mentioned.
S'agissant de la question de l'emploi des jeunes en rapport avec l'éducation, il a été mentionné la nécessité de soutenir l'éducation à tous les niveaux, en particulier au niveau de l'enseignement supérieur, où se pose la question de l'accès et de la nécessité d'appuyer les initiatives de formation professionnelle.
If we want to involve young people in policy and decision-making processes, there is need to identify what their felt needs and aspirations are. And so the AAP should try to focus on the needs and aspirations of young people across the region. Need to identify the young people, let them go to the grassroots level, find out what the needs of those young people are, and with that we can come up with a strategy of how to address those issues.
On a pensé au sein du groupe que l'intégration régionale occupe une place très importante dans les politiques intérieures, que ce soit dans le domaine de l'énergie, de l'éducation, de l'environnement, et j'en passe. Les politiques régionales jouent ou pourraient jouer un rôle extrêmement important. Or, dans les interventions de la Banque mondiale, les projets régionaux ne sont pas pris en compte. Donc ça, c'est quelque chose qui devrait être corrigé.
Here in Kigali, we felt there was a need for more private sector involvement in the infrastructure development. Maybe it's time government took a walk from from infrastructure development and looked more towards a public-private partnership in this area. There was another thought supplement on the infrastructure, is that too much money of it is spent on bringing foreign skills, when skills can be developed locally and therefore bring down the unit cost of infrastructure.
How many women do we have in our cultural services? How many scholarships do we give to women to go into that whole area of agriculture? Now, if you go back 10, 20, 15 years ago, you look at the issue of environment, you look at the issue of Agenda 21. When we talk about sustainability, sustainable livelihoods, we've been talking those things for years. Why haven't we improved? Because women have not. They have not given women the center stage for transformational change.
Au titre de la gouvernance, la Côte d'Ivoire souhaite que les financements de la banque puissent permettre la mise en place de mécanismes pour la gestion paritaire de ces interventions dans les pays. Le financement d'outils pour l'amélioration des procédures afin d'améliorer l'efficacité de l'intervention de la banque, et ensuite financer le développement institutionnel pour renforcer nos États. Et enfin, la Côte d'Ivoire invite la banque à partager les meilleures pratiques en matière de bonne gouvernance.
Countries in Africa, the 52 countries, are not all on the same level of development, are not all endowed in the same factors, and are not all in terms of institutional and other capacity on the same level. So it may be time to revisit the strategy of having a one-size-fits-all approach and rather have different strategies for different levels of development in the different countries.